Here's President Trump with another idea Americans are embracing. Take a listen.
No taxes on overtime. The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. They're police officers, nurses, factory workers, construction workers, truck drivers, and machine operators. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break, and that's what we're doing.
Look out. We know what Kamala Harris is proposing on Monday, right? Well, okay. And of course, if she doesn't propose Trump's idea like she did with the no tax on tips and J.D. Vance's idea with increasing the child tax credit, get ready, guys, for the fake news to say what a bad idea this is and what it'll do to our economy. Here with us now to discuss, Hillary Fordwich, president of Strellmark LLC. Also with us, E.J. Antoni, data analyst, research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Hillary, what do you think? Is this a good idea? No tax on overtime pay? What do you think?
Well, absolutely, Lydia. Pleasure to be back with you, because there's the expression, of course, we all know, the more you tax something, the less you get of it. What we need are more workers to work more hours. You go across America in restaurants and the service industry in particular, particularly the hotel industry, they've had a dire time ever since COVID, getting people back to work and wanting to work overtime hours. So I think, number one, it is definitely incentivized people to get back to work. And number two, it makes people actually not just want to get back to work, but to do something above and beyond what they were doing. And I think that's very positive for the economy. I think it also shows that's what capitalism should be about. It should be rewarding the people that work hard, not penalizing people that put in the extra effort.
You know, a new interview with Kamala Harris with the ABC affiliate in Philadelphia asked Kamala about what she means by an opportunity economy. Take a look.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, you know, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, you know, but a lot of people will relate to this. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, you know?
What is people talking about her lawn or the middle class, EJ, have anything to do with her opportunity economy? She refused during that entire interview to answer specifically any of the questions.
Well, Lydia, it's probably because she has no specifics with which to give an answer. And I mean, look, this whole idea of an opportunity economy, it's a beautiful talking point. I'm sure politically it's very attractive, but like most sound bites, it's not very sound. There's no substance behind it. She has no real policy proposals other than doing more of the same. Well, if you do more of the same, expect more of the same results. Expect the cost of living crisis to not only continue, but to get worse.
You know, Hillary, one of Harris's major policy claims was that she said it during the debate that Goldman Sachs supported her economic agenda over President Trump's. And take a listen to what the CEO had to say about it the very next day.
So that report, which was mentioned last night in the debate, came from an independent analyst. And it's interesting, Scott. I think a lot more has been made of this than should be. And the reason I say a bigger deal's been made of it is what it showed is the difference between the sets of policies that they put forward was about 0.2%. So, you know, I think our clients are trying to look at what's going on from a policy perspective and make judgments. I think this blew up into something that's bigger than what it was intended to be.
What a shocker there. Kamala strikes again. What do you think, Hillary?
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all. I'm actually more shocked about the fact that his policies, former President Trump's policies, it's not just that they were actually incentivizing business. And actually, when the tax rates were lowered, to my previous point, the more you tax something, the less you get. The less you tax something, the more you get. Revenues increased with lower tax rates. So it's not just about money, it's about psychology. And it's about the fact that when you incentivize people, they will invest more. 50% of the world's investment is in the United States of America. In the G7 and the G20, we are right at the top in terms of investment. If the corporate tax rates were raised to above 28%, which Kamala Harris has proposed, then we would fall to the 30th percentile. And Lydia, we would dissuade the world from investing here. We would dissuade the amount of investment that we have in technology and all of our other industries. So it's not just factual and money, it's also psychological that businesses would go elsewhere, let alone global companies would then relocate to other countries. So it's not just about the money. So what I found more shocking was that it was so close in terms of percentage. It simply can't be. If you analyze each of those policies, you will see that each one of them drives investment away psychologically. CEOs, global companies will say, we're going elsewhere. We won't go to the US.
You know, EJ, we talk about inflation. The Democrats try to make it seem like it just happened out of nowhere, that they didn't have anything to do with it. The Biden-Harris regime, we know it started on day one with their declaration of war on the fossil fuel industry. They continue to strangle that industry, causing inflation to continue to skyrocket. So tell us about the Heritage Foundation's new personal inflation calculator.
Lydia, I'm so glad you mentioned this. It's a really powerful tool. I love it, not only because it's powerful, but because it's so simple and easy to use. It allows users, and they can find it at myinflation.org, it allows them to essentially customize inflation to their own situation. So maybe you are the average American, maybe you're the stereotypical family of four in the suburbs, maybe you're a retiree. Whatever the case may be, it allows you to customize it to your personal situation. You can get as specific or as broad as you want with this. And it not only gives you things like a percentage increase, but it actually gives you a dollar amount, which is important because now you can see how much has your cost of living actually increased. How has inflation impacted your family's monthly budget?
We're going to leave it right there. I encourage, how can everybody see the inflation calculator by Heritage Foundation real quick, EJ?
Myinflation.org.
Myinflation.org. All right, guys, we have to leave it right there. Thank you both so much.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye, EJ.